This is Camp Hero, home to a popular conspiracy about mind control for the purpose of developing psychological warfare techniques, as well as other exotic research, including time travel. Believe it or not, this location and the conspiracy was the inspiration for the hit TV series Stranger Things. In the beginning of the series development, the name Montauk was used as its working title. Before we get into the details of the Montauk Project conspiracy, let's begin with the history of this property. Once home to an army base during World War II and an Air Force station during the Cold War, Camp Hero was decommissioned in 1981 and is now owned by the State Park System. It sits on 755 acres of thick forest and desolate wetlands with spectacular 360-degree views of the Atlantic Ocean and the Block Island Sound. The base was constructed to resemble a fishing village from the air. Many of the buildings were designed to look like typical homes. One building was even built with a fake steeple to disguise itself as a church. Today, all of the buildings are abandoned and reside within a state park. Now let's get into the conspiracy side of this interesting location. Preston Nichols, a Long Island engineer, claimed to have recovered repressed memories of his own involvement of the Montauk Project.
The Montauk Project, which was an experiment carried on at Montauk Point, New York, on the southeastern tip of Long Island, was essentially two projects. It was a mind control project where they did research on how to influence the mind of man using electromagnetics. It also evolved into a time travel project. They found out that they could actually bend time with the same equipment that they used to bend minds. This all started back in World War II. They realized that they had a system which they were able to enter the mind of a human being by typing in computer commands. And they sent the whole group of us technical scientific people out to study time. They told us, learn everything you can about time, how to control it, what it is. This was like 1979. By 1981, we had modified the system so we had a working time tunnel, a working time portal.
What's up, guys? Today we're exploring Camp Hero. Now, you might have seen this place before because it was the inspiration for Stranger Things, and this place is huge. So let's get right into it.
Here's the beginning of what we would call downtown Camp Hero. Now, this was actually made to look like a seaside fishing village during World War II. They didn't want anyone that was flying over, any German spies or anything like that, to be able to tell what this all was. This building is the only original building from World War II, and the rest of the other parts that we're going to show you are from the Cold War era. At that time, in the beginning, there was 600 enlisted men and 37 officers that lived and operated in the buildings. And they were actually painted to look like cottages with fake windows and everything. And during the Cold War days, in 1966, there was 206 military and civilians stationed at the base. So in the beginning of time, there was a lot more people than there was in the Cold War era, but it's still cool, it's still all original, and it's still all here, and kind of, to an extent, preserved. But we're gonna show you everything that we could see, and let's get to it.
During World War II, we were losing the war. We were outnumbered. We had Germany against us, most of Europe at that point. We had Italy against us, we had Japan against us, and it was felt it was a losing cause. So the government was essentially looking for that secret weapon that would win the war. So in 43, that area, 43, late 42, 43, 44, they launched a lot of these very avant-garde super science type projects out of almost desperation.
All right, so now let's go check out the bowling alley, which from the outside, it doesn't really look like it's gonna be a bowling alley, but it is. So I guess this was their entertainment for all the military people that worked here during the wars. And I think we can get into this one. So let's go take a look, see if we can. It's crazy that buildings this old still exist and are in okay condition. Now, the last time that we were here, you can at least still make out like the thing where the balls come back up and stuff like that. That was all here. So we'll see if it is still. But of course, like we said earlier, we do not condone going in buildings. Enter at your own risk. Like the signs say, falling objects, danger.
Well, that's why we're here to show you.
That's why, yeah, you don't have to. Example A. It looks like we still can get in, so let's make our way. All right, what am I gonna stand on? I think I'm just gonna power myself over. Whew.
Okay. Oh, look, my name is still on the wall. Well, I didn't write it. It's just broken. Okay, how am I gonna do this? Oh, that's simple. Thank you. Yeah, look. There's a bunch of names, but they're carved in.
Okay. So here's our bowling alley. Like I was just saying, this thing still exists, which is crazy. I mean, you can see how bad this roof is. It's literally holding on by the littlest bits of wood, and they're decaying really, really badly. Kind of almost looks like there was fires too. It's kind of hard to tell because it's been so long, but you can see like if you take a look at that piece of wood over there, you see how it's like barely holding on. The supports are really minimal. I mean, considering the way that they built things back then too. The only reason why this is standing here is because of these concrete walls. If everything else was made out of wood, it wouldn't be here. At least just the roof was wood so that everything else was able to hold up. Now let's try to walk through this, see if we could take a look at the machinery where the pins would have been and stuff, and see if there's anything else we can kind of find as we go along. But
what is this thing?
that's just a kid's drink.
Oh, no, the smoke thingy.
Yeah. But you could still see the spinny wheel that would have like shot the balls like up into the thing. A lot of the stuff is hanging on by threads. This seems to be like a air conditioner fan type
Yeah,
thing.
looks like it.
It says Modine for the name on the front of it. That thing's big.
Yeah.
You can see the whole wall is just littered with carved names. Here's an example of one of the supports giving out,
Oh, man.
just like the other one. So that's why enter at your own risk. These buildings are way older than usual abandoned buildings. Now I guess this is what's left of the pin machines.
Yeah.
You could barely make out that that's what this was, but I guess for people that kind of know how the mechanics work with it, maybe you would be able to tell, but to me this kind of just looks like a pile of metal that's being overgrown and taken over. Maybe let's try to look on the back end and see if there's anything more to it, but like, I guess, I don't know why they were like in circle patterns, but there's like on and off switches. They're still here. I guess that would have been for the machines. And there's some sort of breaker box type thing. The metal is just deteriorating. It might be sharp, so I'm not gonna touch it with my hands, but it must have been on the wall somewhere, or maybe on top of the machinery units. I'm not really sure. But like you can see the remnants of like light This is definitely a light fixture. I can see where it would have attached and it just fell. The light came with it. But yeah, I mean, this is pretty crazy that it's still here. Even if it is kind of unrecognizable, it still exists. And it's an important part of history, so I wonder what this is. It just caught my eye. It has like numbers, like on the real thing. Maybe it has something to do with how it put the pins back and all that stuff. All right. Now let's walk back through this jungle. Kind of looks like it with all these vines and roots hanging here. That's crazy that there's still color to this. The blue.
Yeah.
Ooh, buttons. That's pretty cool. Now, I'm assuming this was all just like machinery for back then. Like, I don't even know, but maybe they control that AC unit and the fans. And this looks like a bathroom. This is a stall. Yep, it's definitely a stall. There's no toilet in there. I think we saw pieces of it smashed. You see a piece of the sink on the floor here. Kind of just on the floor. But at least you could tell it's still a bathroom. And this is the other side of the front door. So, tiny one-lane bowling alley. Well, I guess maybe
Two.
One on each side. So, I can't believe that after so many years, it's still holding up. Pretty cool. So let's hop out of this again and get out of here safely, and we'll keep moving along.
Duncan here, and we think there may have been one other psychic used for the time. Duncan here has multiple time references, and which he can speak on in a bit, because we're almost to the end of the project, where he could actually visualize another time, and he would have a personal connection through these multiple time connections to actually visualize that exact time that he was trying to visualize. Means if he visualized 1800, let's say France, Paris, France, 1800 on a street corner, his mind had a virtual image, a virtual reality image created of that street corner in Paris in 1800.
So now on the back side, next to the bowling alley, I believe this was the dining hall. There was the bowling alley, a dining hall, barracks, and a gym disguised as a church. So we're gonna take a look at each one, but these ones are mainly closed. They probably don't have anything in them, and they're probably like really, really, really decayed. But this one's kind of giving me a restaurant vibe because of the exhaust, like the things to let the exhaust go and stuff. The other ones don't have that. So I'm gonna say that this building right here was the dining hall, which is pretty cool to see. But as you'll see, they really make sure that nobody can get in here because it's just flat out dangerous. Every single window is closed really tightly with perfectly shaped boards.
And a bunch of bolts.
Yeah, they don't mess around with these buildings. So as you can see, it's not going to be happening for these ones. But
And trust me, they're dangerous. While leaving the bowling alley, I stepped on a nail.
yeah,
A rusty nail went right through my shoe. I'm pretty sure we cleaned it in time because we have first aid stuff in our bags. So hopefully I'm fine. But yeah, these places are dangerous.
wear boots.
Yeah, we're over here wearing Nikes.
Yeah.
Dunks and some
I don't know what the hell I'm wearing.
Some Air Forces or something. We shouldn't be wearing these, but yeah.
So yeah, closed to public. Yeah. So this we're thinking is the barracks. And like we said earlier when we started in the front, they were disguised to look like a regular village, fishing village.
From above.
From above for, you know, air attacks. So they were painted certain colors to kind of resemble cottages. So I'm not really sure that, I'm assuming this is the original color, but I don't know for sure, but they try to make it more like homey rather than a military barrack would typically look like. Not that I know what they would really look like in the 40s and 50s and stuff like that, but yeah, same thing with this building. It is completely sealed off.
Yep.
On every single way possible. You can tell that they really cared for these. And I'm surprised if there would be a floor in there because it looks like everything was constructed with concrete brick on the outside and then wood on the inside, just like the roofs. So it probably didn't hold up. But we can take a look on this side of the building. Here it just says closed. But yeah, same thing. Really tightly boarded. I guess somebody probably tried to get in this one, but can't imagine it would be worth it. You know, this place is really cool for the history, but with how old it is, it would be near impossible with how historical this is to actually find historical items inside any of these places. It's pretty much impossible.
Pretty gutted. Now imagine metal detecting here though.
Yeah.
That
You'd
might
probably
be cool.
find some cool stuff. Like there's remnants of all sorts of stuff, pathways. Probably has tons of things in the ground. But our next thing to figure out is I'm not really sure what this building was. That's right in front of us. Again, nothing really identifiable, but maybe on the map. We didn't start off looking at the map, so we'll look at the map next. Maybe it has a little bit more details. We tried to learn what we can, but there's only so much that we can remember. But yeah, same thing. Really, really sealed tight. I'm surprised there's bars up on that top part. Why is there a hinge here? It's weird.
Oh yeah, like they would have used it as a door.
Bugs.
Probably not anymore.
Yeah, but they definitely were accessing it at one point and then put this wooden beam here and bolted or whatever these things in. Maybe at a certain period of time they had access to it, but not anytime probably soon. It was probably a really long time ago. But yeah, so let's go take a look at the map and let's go take a look at the fake church, which was actually a gym.
That's cool.
Let's see if we can get inside that one. All right, so now we're over at the map, taking a look at what everything is. So that little store right here that we were just saying we don't know what it was, that was the exchange store. I'm not really sure what an exchange store means, but I'm assuming it's like a general store where you can just kind of buy whatever you need. But we were correct, that one's the barracks. The one in the back is the dining hall and the bowling alley. So now we got a map that we can bring with us and make sure, but this is all that remains of the village. So there's not gonna be more for the village part. Yeah, so when we got a second, we're gonna take a look at this building, which is the gym.
There's nowhere to go back there.
There is nowhere to go back there. But that was the gym, like I was saying, that was meant to look like a church. On that plaque over there, it was actually saying that they had fake painted windows on a lot of these buildings too.
Wow.
So yeah, even the windows that we see now were probably like fakely painted with windows, which is really cool. I kind of don't remember, but I feel like I remember there being a steeple. I feel like it collapsed or something. I had to look at my old pictures.
Yeah.
It could have been like that the whole time.
No,
but
it was like a gym.
I know, but there's a steeple on the top of this that made it look like a church, and it's not there anymore.
Oh.
So I'm just saying that in the past, I feel like I remember seeing the steeple there, but I'm not sure. So I'll take a look at my old stuff and see. But that thing there would have been a steeple to make it look like a church. So we'll take a look at that when the coast is clear.
Now we're definitely not gonna go inside this one. The whole ceiling collapsed in on itself. But we got some pictures and old videos that we'll pop in somewhere right here. This building is badly damaged.
These guys out of Brookhaven had already built their kingdom, so they wanted to keep it going. So somebody got the idea, let's go and talk to the military direct. So they went to people in the Joint Chiefs of Staff and said, hey, how would you like a weapon? You throw the switch, the enemy throws up their hands and surrenders. Of course, you know, it was, yeah, I'd love that weapon. So they said, well, we can develop it. We have we have a start on it. But we got to do it in secrecy. Of course, the military was already quite familiar with secrecy. So it was launched as a black hole project, and the military suggested, well, you can't do it, you know, they said, we can't do it at Brookhaven Labs, because we're too much under scrutiny of the political government. You got any ideas of where we could do the research? We want to be close to Brookhaven Labs, Princeton, and MIT. So they said, well, we got this old Air Force base that's now deserted on the eastern tip of Long Island, Montauk Air Force Base. It's a small town. There isn't a lot of people in it. You can go out there and be pretty much secluded. Back then, in the early 70s, this was like 1969, 1970, I have to add to it. It was a small, sleepy little town. It wasn't big. It wasn't the vacation capital yet at that point. So the group said, great, that sounds like an excellent place.
Okay, and we're at what year now?
This is now about 72.
Okay.
It was decided to move it all out to the old Montauk Air Force Base.
Okay.
They went out there, they masqueraded as Air Force personnel. They brought some Air Force personnel in also at the same time. And they reactivated the old SAGE radar because it transmitted on the same frequency range that Wilhelm Reich used for his orgone studies. So it was decided to refurbish the old SAGE transmitter. It was there, it was usable. So they got the Air Force personnel in and refurbished it. Then they contracted with the company BJM that I used to work for, and I went out, I started to modify it and, you know,
what is BJM specifically?
It's a military-industrial contractor. We made radar jamming equipment.
Okay.
I'm essentially an electrical engineer. I have a BS degree, and my specialty was essentially receivers.
Okay.
As you can see, these are all receivers. You know, I'm a fanatic on receivers and radio gear. So I was taken out, and my job was to modify the big old radar transmitter for this special purpose. It started out with what we call the microwave oven experiments, where they just took a human being, stuck him in the building, focused the big antenna on him, pumped out 100 million watts of power and hooked the people in that radar beam. And they got it to the point where they could actually type in a command to the computer, and the computer would pulse the transmitter, and the person would do it to some extent.
But is it your mind interfacing with my mind?
Yes,
or is it some collective mind?
It would be an artificial presentation of instructions to do work, which would integrate with
my mind, with my normal electrical functions in my brain.
Your brain, your auric field, your spirit, soul. And if it's strong enough,
so it's more on a level of energy, physical energy, not
absolutely.
It's nothing physical.
Yes,
energetic / electromagnetic, which in this reality form are highly structured and based into. For sure.
I think it says it's commissary, which isn't that like goods? Like the only thing I could think of is commissary in prison. Like that means like goods and stuff, right? So I guess Now what I need to understand is what the difference is between a commissary store and an exchange store, like we showed before.
I wonder if it had anything to do like with being a bank or something.
Yeah.
Like the other one. This one looks like there's ways into it. Kind of looked like it was used as a garage or something. I don't know.
We'll find out.
Yeah. Let's see if we can see inside. Looks pretty dark. Oh, it's just an empty space. I can't really tell.
Let me take out my flashlight. A door. That's all I can really see, that this is a big door. I don't know if we can get through that.
The camera?
No, like anything. All right. Got through the hole. Okay, well, let's see if we can tell what any of this is. Store is old. Bathroom. Nothing in here, but the muscle? Was it like a safe? Was it just a cabinet? I don't know. Random like acorns and things like that. Electrical panels. Well, now it's just storing all these random pieces of wood. You can see the holes in the roofs coming through. Piece of the toilet smashed and some sort of line, carts. You see all these? What would have been on those? Weird, man. Does it have a date on it? How old is this can? 2019. Not too old. But yeah, that's that. This is the commissary building. Get me to squeeze through this hole again. I'll be back in 1 second.
Just watch that little hook.
Good thing I'm tiny.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, not much to see, but now we know.
Yep. It's weird, like hooks and stuff up there. You see that?
Yeah. And I know you couldn't see because you weren't in there, but there's like these like rail things on the floor.
That's weird.
As if something was like moving on it, like a cart. I'm not really sure.
It is getting hot out here.
It was 50. Now it's feels like it's a lot hotter than that. Let's just see if there's anything to see on the outside, but I don't think so. It's pretty much just buffed graffiti and new graffiti. Nothing crazy.
Maybe early July. I mean, late July, early August of 1983, that what was being done out at Montauk was not for the best. You know, some people were starting to get cold feet. You know, they were starting to get scared, to be honest with you. There was meetings held privately among the
Why?
group.
Because the technologies were so advanced that none of the interim...
This group was monkeying around with time. They could go back and change the life of Christ if they wanted. It was getting very concerning, very scary. After a number of meetings privately between the people inside, not the management of Montauk, but the workers, it was decided this project had to crash.
And who made that decision?
I don't know for sure.
Now I'm guessing this was one of the gates into the base. There would have been a guard booth or something like that. And you'd have typed in your PIN to get into the base. I mean, to open the gates, right here. That's cool. Now, what we're looking for now is the bunkers. This place had a bunch of bunkers hidden in the woods, so we're trying to locate them now. We located them last time, but they're hard to find, so yeah, let's see what we can find.
This is what you're talking about.
Oh yeah, there goes one right there.
You have to go from the right. This is battery 112. So they, I was reading that they would put like camouflage nets over these things so they didn't look like they had guns there.
Cool.
So they try to camouflage them and put them within like the hills and do their best to put like landscaping in certain areas to kind of, you know, keep it from being seen from above. So we'll go climb around and take a look at that from the front and the back.
Now there's a perfect view of the radar tower. It looks so cool. Might look familiar to some of you. It's actually part of the inspiration for Stranger Things. A lot of history of this place is pretty weird. There's a lot of theories and stuff. It's kind of like Area 51. So yeah, that's one cool building. But let's focus on these bunkers. I wonder if they like have anything inside of them. They've probably been like closed off to the outside world for so long.
Yeah.
Here's one. I'm actually surprised there's no graffiti on this wall. This is insane. Got some history over here. So this was battery 112, which was completed on January 24th, 1944. It's a long time ago from now. Wow. Shows like this, the type of weapons they had here. That's cool. Look at it right here. So this was the front side. I always thought these were like entrances to the bunker. I guess not. That's where they held a big gun.
Yeah.
That's cool. Wow. Just imagine how many people are like stationed here. The area is so like broad. If only we can get inside this place. But we can't unless somebody had a secret way in. Yeah, but it's cool. Now, what was on the other side? I think it was just the same.
Well, it's kind of like the, I don't know, the other end of the bunker. So
Yeah.
you can see the circular area on the floor where the gun would have sat.
That's
That
so
big
cool.
thing.
And here's the outer line.
Yeah.
That's cool. Gotta love history. What lies behind this wall, no one shall know. That's cool. Okay, we're gonna walk up this trail right here and see what we can find above the bunker. There's an old fire hydrant right there. This is pretty steep. These are definitely not the right shoes for this, as we mentioned earlier.
That's actually a piece of wire that you just stepped over. This is
Oh,
not,
it is.
This is not a stick.
That's funny. I thought it was a branch. Whew. Gets a little more steeper here. And slippery. This is really steep. Okay, I'm almost up. Whew, I'm up. Wow, look how high this is compared to where we just were. Oh man. There's a bunch of bees everywhere.
That's dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going. That's on like a. That's not flat right there.
Nope, it's a little
It's
curved.
slanted. That's really dangerous.
Whew, I'm out of breath. Now I'm pretty sure there was like another bunker looking entrance thing on the other side, so. Let's see if we can get over there. Now there's some stuff over there in the distance. I wonder if that's some sort of like hatch or two of them. Let's see. Oh, look at this. This huge pipe. Probably like an exhaust pipe for... That's cool. Just keeps going. Now, if anyone know what this thing is, let us know. I'm guessing that's just gonna keep going until you don't see it anymore. We're trying to get on that side, so let's see how it's looking. Okay, so we found two sides of the bunker. There's one right here and one over there. So we're gonna try to get down this real quick. It's pretty steep. Hopefully we don't die. Got this. I wonder how like deep and like big this bunker is beneath us. It's probably huge.
I'll go that one first.
Yeah, let's go to that one first. Another fire hydrant. And this must have been like a hatch of some sort. They put cement over it. Let's see how this side is looking. Okay. It's not a white wall. I think they just like cemented this one. Oh, it looks like wood. Like they boarded it up. And there's a hole. There's a hole. I don't know where it goes, but look at that. Is that how people have been getting in this thing? Sliding under? I don't think we've seen that the other time we've been here. I wonder where it leads.
Need a light. It doesn't even. I can't even really tell.
It's dark. Doesn't. Can you tell if like?
Try to look, but I can't.
Yeah. Can you tell if like water went down there and like formed that? Doesn't look like though.
Cold air is coming through it.
I wish we had like a string, like a rope or something. See how deep it goes if it falls.
Get my flashlight.
From your bag?
Yeah.
Okay.
Top section.
Top section. Let's see. Let's see. Your light?
Yeah. No, my flashlight.
It's a lot of stuff in here. Oh, I see it. Okay, this one.
Wow. Okay.
What'd you see?
Here. It goes pretty far.
Oh man.
I don't know where it goes, but there's a lot of pipes. And let's see, can this zoom? It does, right, baby?
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Get it off of spot focus. It goes somewhere. You just don't know where. I don't know. It's tons of pipes.
I hear a truck. I don't know if it's coming this way though. I don't think there's any way to come this way. That's probably an entryway. Definitely need an outfit or something to get into there. Like one that's willing to get a little messy.
Yeah, that got me dirty, but
Yeah.
that's okay.
I wish we had like a little remote control car with a camera on it.
We can do that.
Yeah. Put a
Just gotta get creative.
Put a GoPro on it. Here's a size comparison now. Pretty big bunker.
I want to know if it goes into it.
And I was wrong. That's actually cement. It looks like wood from like a distance, but it's cement.
I don't know if you can get through that.
Probably.
You have to crawl.
Now, I might be mistaken, but like a while ago, I'm pretty sure we saw like a couple of pictures from inside the bunker. I don't know who from or where from, but I think they're on the internet somewhere. We didn't know if they were true or not, but this might be it.
I'll take a look at the other ones too and see if anything has...
What's that? Is that a bunny?
Well, it is flesh.
Oh, man.
This is hardened flesh.
What is that?
Seems like a bunny. I can't really peel anything back, but like, look at the I don't know. It kind of seems thick though.
That's weird. That's there's no feet or
her face. I'm trying to determine. I can't though. There's just nothing.
That's weird.
It's all deteriorated.
There's some more over here.
Well, rest in peace, bunny.
If that's a bunny.
I don't know what else is white.
Doesn't look like cat hair or anything. I don't know.
I feel bad.
Nope.
There's a sign when you come in saying not to dump your animals here. Well, who knows? That could have been like a pet bunny, not a wild. There's no wild white colored bunnies. Like,
yeah.
People must dump them here because the land is just so vast here and there's just nothing. Unfortunately, people do that. So,
not thinking of how the poor bunny would
no, they know they're going to die.
Well, wilderness.
Any domesticated animal doesn't know how to hunt and find their own food. So abandoning any sort of domestic animal here is a death sentence.
Yeah.
So no respect for those people whatsoever. Here.
Now we're heading towards the other entrance or whatever it is. And just to see if it looks the same, you know. So that's not a bad idea. We should like get a little RC car.
Yeah.
Put a GoPro on it. We got a old GoPro we could put on it.
You should put a string on it so if it gets stuck, you literally just pull it back.
Okay, let's see how this one is looking. Definitely looks different. I don't see like no gaping hole on the bottom. Just crazy how big these things are. Like a whole truck could fit in here. Just gotta watch where we're stepping. It's pretty gunky over here. But yeah, I don't see anything like that over here. It's just pretty sealed.
All right, guys, so now it's time to talk about the infamous radar tower that we've been talking about throughout this video, pretty much the main attraction of this place. Now, I last was inside of the radar tower back in May of 2017, so it's been a couple years. When me and Zach went back to film this video, at the time when this video was filmed, there used to be a hole in the concrete in the side of the building. Now you can see from what I have on the screen that there isn't exactly doors and things like that. It's a very abnormal structure the way that it is. So there really wasn't multiple ways in and out. For a long time, it was just this hole in the side with the cinder blocks. You know, somebody must have hit them out. That was fully sealed when we went to go inside. So unfortunately, we don't have any footage of inside of the radar tower, but what I do have is my photos from 2017 where I did go in on every floor, went all the way to the top, to the tippy top where the radar, like the actual, you know, radar thing is on top. So I'm going to show you guys that now, which I'm really happy I have documented this so you guys can see what the inside looks like. Now it's super graffitied, you know, throughout the years. I mean, you saw with the history how long that it's been decommissioned since the 80s. There's been a lot of opportunity for local kids and other people who are traveling there to vandalize it. So you will see a lot of graffiti in the mix. And another thing that I wanted to mention about this place is that I was able to travel up the staircase in 2017, but barely. So the metal stairs have actually rusted away and have fallen. So if you can imagine a tall staircase going back and forth in any type of like big building like that, all of the steps are gone. So basically you're jumping from rail to rail to rail, hoping that you're not gonna fall to your death in the stairwell. And that was in 2017. There was barely any stairs left. Pretty much like the first 2 floors were there, and then the rest completely gone. Some people put like wooden planks to just hopefully not fall off of and get up. So some of them had that. So even if we did get in today in 2024, it's definitely not going to be any better than it was in 2017. Those stairs are pretty much non-existent, and it's going to be extremely dangerous to get to the top of that radar tower. So it's not even worth it. So these photos that we're showing are pretty much gold, because who knows if I'm ever going to go back up there. So here you guys go. Take a look at what it once was. Alright everyone, so that's the end of this episode. I hope you enjoyed it just as much as we did. Please make sure to subscribe and like if you haven't already, and check us out on our other social media platforms. On Instagram, Urbax Vibes, Oxize93, and RealZec. Facebook, Urbax Vibes. On X, it's also Urbax Vibes. And on TikTok, it's Oxize93 and RealZec. We will see you guys for the next Explorer.